Alrighty. Hey guys, get down slowly. Alright, I hope the camera's positioned in the right spot. If not, there's not much I can do about that now. So, what's going on, everybody on YouTube? It is Tony Tornado. I'm gonna try to speak like as clearly as possible because I'm in a little pain, not as much as I used to be in though. So as you can probably tell from the title of the video, I had just went to the hospital New Year's Day, and my surgery took place like on New Year's Day and I ended up having acute appendicitis, and it was very bad. It had to be taken out immediately. So let me explain to you guys more about like this whole story and kind of what's been going on. I don't want to say for about a year because it wasn't really like a year, but it was definitely many months. The first time I felt this pain was probably in July, and I was feeling a lot of pain all the time, like in my stomach, and I've always had gastro issues. Like I don't have what do you call that, Crohn's disease or anything like that. I don't have any stuff like that, but I've always had these issues where like any kind of acidicness to food will make me sick, and I didn't really, being younger, I never really like followed my rules of like my health and stuff. So like around July into August is when I really started to feel it first. And then we fast forward to October. I don't know if you guys really followed the videos like in so much depth, but there is a couple videos that were posted, I think in October or November. And I told you guys briefly in some of those videos. There wasn't a direct video mentioned because I didn't want too much attention brought on that right away. But I know that I did say in a couple of the videos that I went to the hospital in October. And in October, I went October 4th, okay? And it was like the same thing, but nowhere near as strong. Now, I'll explain to people, like I'm sure there's some medical people watching, so I'll explain to you guys exactly what I had done. I had an EKG, I had an ultrasound, I had x-rays, right? They checked my pancreas, my what do you call it? My gallbladder, sorry, and my stomach. And all that stuff. Everything was fine. And they checked my heart too, because the first time I went, I was having like heart palpitations, like I was real sick, right? And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Well, it turns out you can have like extreme gastro issues to where it will go up your esophagus, right? And it'll make you think that you're having issues like with your heart. And a lot of people were really confused by that. I had mentioned it to some people before, like, because a lot of people, I guess, don't really have this, but some people can. Like, they'll have such severe gastro issues to the point where, like, it'll go up their esophagus. It can burn their esophagus, and then it can make their heart really act up. And I felt like I was having a heart attack, honestly, so I got scared and I went to the hospital. And for people who know me, like, I'm terrified of hospitals. Like, I've always have been. But during that trip, October 4th, they drew blood too, and they put fluids in me and everything else like that. So I was fine, and they discharged me. They told me that I just had a lot of like gastro issues. Well, about a month and 3 weeks, I would say later, I was still having these issues, only it was getting like progressively worse. Like I threw up an entire bucket, probably like this big. I wish I had the bucket to show you guys, but I can't bend or find it, but the bucket was this big, and I had severe gastro issues to where like I threw up that entire bucket. And again, that was in like the end of November, I think, or into December. And when I threw up, I was fine, not thinking anything about it, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm fine, whatever, nothing's really wrong, right? Okay, so we're going through December, right? Christmas, like getting towards Christmas time, and I keep having these issues, like gastro issues, and it's I've always had this stuff too, guys. You got to remember, like me, I've always had gastrointestinal things going on that was really weird, and everybody always told me, oh yeah, just take a Tums, take whatever, and it goes away, and it usually did for me. But now this is where it gets a little bit weird. Okay, so we fast forward to New Year's Eve, the 30th. Okay. Now I had started like a fasting also on the 29th because I put on some weight, as you guys can tell. I want to lose weight again and get thinner. So I started a fasting ahead of time of New Year's Day. Part of my resolution, I do want to lose around 50 to 60 pounds. I do want to lose that for 2022. That's one of my resolutions. And so anyway, I got really like, I can't describe it to you. I just started having like severe pain right here in the middle of my stomach, and it hurt. I'm telling you, it hurt. Me and Ashley were here, and we were watching like the New Year's Eve celebrations, counting down to New Year's, and Callie jumped on my stomach. My dog, Callie, she jumped on my stomach, and I screamed in pain. Like, it hurt so bad. And I figured, well, you know, my stomach's just shrinking, you know, because I'm losing weight. And it hurt really bad. Well, for some reason, I don't know what it was, something told me to sleep out here in the living room, because Mantha always sleeps on that black chair out here, and I slept on the couch. And I'm just laying there, and I kept waking up probably like every 30 minutes. I couldn't even sleep because I was in that much pain. And by the time 5 o'clock in the morning came on New Year's Day, I had such piercing pain, and I couldn't even like stand up or move, which was crazy. Like I was holding my side, and I was cringing in pain, and it really did hurt, guys. Like I'm telling you, like I couldn't even, and that's kind of what bothered me the most about the whole thing was, like, I was in pain before, like for many months. Like, as I just told you guys, the timeline, like even July and August, I was always having pain, but it was never something that was like impairing my work and my day-to-day, you know, routines or whatever. Nothing really affected me. I just figured, oh, you know, I'll be tough and just push through it. So I did. Sorry, I'm just propping my leg up so the camera, I think, shook a little bit. And it's really interesting too, because I feel like I just pushed myself really hard. But yeah, I got really, really sick. Over time, I think it just got worse, right? So here we go again. We're going to talk about New Year's Day, all the events that happened. So this is New Year's Day, 5 in the morning, okay? We're just, you know, we're sitting there, and I'm up at 5 in the morning, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even stand up. I can't, like, I was limping to my car. And I told my mom, I said, hey, you know, I'm going to the hospital. Like, I don't feel good. Like, I can't even walk. Like, I'm just going to the hospital. So I went over to the hospital, right around the corner from my house, actually. And I got in there like 6 in the morning, and I sat there for about till 7:30, believe it or not, because like there was like no staff. It was like, and it was weird to me too, because there wasn't many patients in the waiting room, but they made me wait a long time. They really did. And it's just a good thing too, that they didn't make me wait too long. So anyway, we're here. I'm getting seen at like 7:30, 8, 9. I'm being seen, having all these tests done. They did different tests this time. So let me tell you guys how they ended up finding out it was acute appendicitis. So this time, compared to last visit to the hospital in October, this is what they did differently. This time they just drew my blood, threw me through an IV, and then they immediately took me for a CAT scan. They never gave me a CAT scan last time. So if you guys have made it through this video and you ever have those kind of feelings too, like, make sure you have that checked out, because I really am 100% sure, and my doctor is too, that, like, you know, I had it before. It just wasn't to that level of extremeness, you know. And if I would have had a CAT scan the first time I was in the hospital, they probably would have just took it out, and that would have been it. But anyway, yeah, they took me to get a CAT scan, and I was out of there in like 10 minutes flat. And the doctor came running over to me real quickly. He said, "Okay, well, you do have acute appendicitis. Like we saw in the CAT scan, like it's very clear. It's very clear, like your appendix is blown up and it's infected bad, and we need to get it out." And I said, "Okay, let's just get it out." And he said, "You could always treat it with antibiotics. We don't recommend that, but I recommend you get it out." I was like, "No, that's fine. Just get it out," even though I'm terrified of surgeries and hospitals and all that stuff, guys. And I was too. Like, I was scared. So anyway, because it was New Year's Day, which is yesterday. Today's the 2nd as I'm filming this, January 2nd. Because it was New Year's Day, they had to like call the surgeons, get them in the hospital. So it took a little while for me to get going into surgery, which was making me nervous, because he was acting like it was really serious, and I'll tell you more about that later. He was acting like, you know, we need to get it out now. So I met the surgeons like around 12. I was good to go. Like they set me up, I think around like 1 or 2. I can't remember that part, because like I had all that morphine and all that stuff. I think it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And they took me back, and they took it out. They cut out my appendix and took it out. And I can tell you this. The pain that I'm in right now, I am not in that pain, as much pain as I was before. Like walking around, even for months before the pain got so severe I couldn't walk, I was in pain all the time. And I couldn't figure out why. Like and everybody kept telling me it's just gastral stuff, like, you know, it'll pass, whatever, but it never seemed to pass for me. And I just thought that I was, you know, because I put on weight, that I was out of shape and I was overweight. Like, that's what I originally thought. Turns out I had acute appendicitis. And let me tell you something now. When the doctor took my appendix out and he came to see me in the recovery room, he told me that if I would have waited 24 to 48 more hours, it would have popped. Which your appendix can blow, and it can get all in your body, and you could more than likely die. They can try to suck it out of you and get all of it out of your bloodstream, but once it blows and it goes all in your bloodstream, like it's a bad situation. So with that being said, like, I'm home now. I went home. The one thing I didn't listen to my doctor about was he told me not to drive back home, and I still did, because I don't live that far from the hospital. So I drove my car home, just because you guys all know my Buick Grand National, I'm not leaving that in a parking lot like that. Already long enough, that car was sitting in a parking lot, and I brought it home, and I probably shouldn't have drove it home, but I was fine. Trust me, I didn't hurt myself. Yeah, obviously, because this is like the next day and it's lunchtime already, so I'm fine. But I'm just, I'm really thankful that I got it done. I really am. I was thinking back to, there was a story, when I was younger, I was taking like a karate class when I was 12, and I fell and I landed on that side really hard. Like I fell and landed on that side really hard when I was 12 doing karate. And my dad thought that there was something wrong with me, but he ended up taking me to the hospital in our town then. And the doctor kept us waiting for hours. I mean, it was terrible in that small town, hospital. But anyway, I remember being there for a long time too, like 5-6 hours before like a doctor even looked at it. And they thought that there was nothing wrong with my appendix then. They said, oh yeah, he's fine. So I think what happened at the time was I agitated it and it was fine, obviously, because I was only 12. But it just made me think about that, It made me really think about that. Like how I injured myself so easily without really even, taking it into consideration. What I, like, now, today, like, everybody who watches me knows that I have abused my digestive system for quite some time. I mean, that's no secret. But unfortunately not unfortunately, but that has ended now. I can't really afford to be unhealthy. So I will be making many changes to my diets. And I'll probably lose weight really quickly too. You guys can see some of the things, all the stickers where I got blood drawn and stuff. So yeah, I'm sitting at home alone right now, just relaxing. And I'm just really glad that I had it done. I really am. Like I have this thing, everybody probably already knows this if you watch enough of my videos and the time. Like if you're one of those fans that watch like everything that we upload and every second of it, because we have fans that do that. Like I am so terrified of shots. And I'm terrified of hospitals for numerous reasons, but I faced my fears. I had many shots, needles going in me. And I just, I sat in the hospital that long and I conquered my fear. So it feels really good. And I would highly recommend anybody, if you have a fear that's similar to mine, like that, or something that could save your life, because in this case, it saved my life, I would push through it. Definitely push through it. If you have somebody that can help you push through it in that time, sorry, because for me, it was Ashley. She helped me push through it. Yeah. So, it was pretty hard for me. Yeah, it was pretty hard. Like, everybody has their own fears, Like, and mine is just... my dad went into a hospital, and I thought he was fine, and he didn't wake up. He never came back. He died right there in the hospital. So I think that that's where it comes from. But I felt him there with me, and I'm just glad. Oh, and I'm gonna be playing Paper Mario, Origami King, like the whole time I am recovering. I forgot to mention that too. Sorry, guys. So I have like a 1 to 3 week recovery process, which actually might be a really good thing for you guys, because I can't like do my regular day jobs. I can't do any of that stuff. And I did tell my mom and everybody that, and the doctors, like, I only drove my car home. I will not drive it anymore, I promise. At least until I can get enough rest. And then, yeah. So that should take care of that. And I have a 1 to 3 week recovery process. I will be on the YouTube channel filming a lot of stuff though, like I am now. I can do a lot of that while I'm recovering. So that's why I was saying good news for you guys. And I'll try to be as social as possible on these platforms and stuff during my recovery time. If you guys want, leave plenty of comments. I'll try to get people over. Ashley's got her channel. Mantha's got her channel. The Crazy Boyfriend channel has been worked on a lot, so if you guys haven't, subscribe to that as well. Don't forget, subscribe, like, and comment. Just keep that up, guys. I know it's annoying, but the way YouTube has been, censoring a lot of stuff, it's kind of crazy, and it's crazy. One of my best friends, you guys seen Mike in the videos, like he even tells me that he will never get notifications for my channel. Like never a community tab post, never something I upload, like never. It's crazy how like some channels don't even get the viewership that they're deserved, and I don't understand why the algorithm's like that. But that's why I said always like, comment, and sub. And sub with all notifications, obviously. But so yeah, that concludes this video. And also too, I'm going to apologize in advance about something. So this video is going to go up first. Me and Ashley spent a lot of time with her on her birthday. That was filmed like a while ago, guys. It was filmed a while ago. So that will go up after this one. I just haven't edited it or anything yet. But I want to make sure I get that up too, because it was a fun day. And yeah, so I'll be online a lot, guys, so I'll just be talking to you, okay? So bear with me while I get up here. Ugh. Alright, my name is Tony Tornado, guys, and I love my subscribers. Love you guys so much. Alright, see ya.